Hi guys, this is Ryan, and today I'm going to be doing the less dominant hand challenge. I don't know if it's got a name, but it's been going around the internet for like a decade or something, and I thought may as well hop on it. I don't know if it's really a challenge. I guess it's a challenge. I don't know. So my dominant hand is my right hand because I'm basic, so I'll be doing it with my left hand. So here I'm gonna be starting with my right hand so we can compare it to the left hand after it's done. And I know this is a shocker, but I'm not doing fan art for once. I'm actually deciding to not neglect my original characters. So this is my character Ryu Soma. I've had him since I was like 13 or 14, so he's very edgy. I guess while I'm drawing with my right hand, I'll talk about him because there's not much to narrate about here. So back then I only had 3 OCs, and he was my like last OC. Well, not really. Like, he was the last of the 3 to be made. So first I had Kimi, who had like curly or wavy hair or whatever. Then I had Idel, who was Hinata at the time. I changed his name in high school because when I would talk about my character Hinata, people would think I was talking about Danganronpa or Haikyuu, so I changed it to Idel to avoid confusion. He had straight hair or something. So in my mind, the only 3 hair types apparently, the last one was spiky, so I gave him spiky hair. And I don't have the heart in me to change him because I've just had him for so long. And his hair makes no sense. I have no idea how to draw it. It does not suit my art style. So I really need to fix it soon, but right now I don't have it in me to change it. Like, this is my child. I pretty much haven't changed Ryu. He did used to be like a huge Garisu, I guess, but I play into that now a bit more like humorously, like with that anime called Sakamoto. Is it Sakamoto? That one anime with like the perfect guy. I kind of play into that and make like his perfections a joke, and then he's got this murderous side, and that's why I'm drawing him in handcuffs, because he is a criminal. He's a serial killer, basically. So he never gets caught in my OC story thing, but it's fun to just like draw him in this scenario even if it's not canon. So he's like the stereotypical perfect boyfriend. Like, he's perfect at gaming, he's good with children, he's got the blonde hair, he's attractive, you know, all that stuff, and then he's just like a fucking serial killer. I know that's still kind of cringe, but he is my original character. I'm not really using him for anything apart from just like drawing him and loving him. So I don't mind if he's a bit like stupid because he makes me happy even if he's not like dynamic. So I decided to do watercolor for this because I thought it would be harder for my left hand to handle. So yeah, I just wanted to torture myself basically. But I also tortured myself while doing the right-handed drawing because this paper is really not meant for watercolor. I do have watercolor paper. I have very cheap watercolor paper and some on the more expensive side, which I could have easily just grabbed, but I'm hanging out downstairs in my house right now, and the watercolor paper is upstairs. I cannot be bothered to get up and get the watercolor paper, so I just stuck with this crap paper. Also, this shadow here, it turned out way better than I thought, and I'm very happy with that. The drawing isn't my most favorite thing in the world, but that shadow I've never had that work out so well for me before. That's great. I love that. Also, question. Do you guys prefer fan art or seeing people's OC art more? Because personally, I love other people's OCs. I love drawing other people's OCs. I wish I had like friends so I could just draw their OCs all the time. I'm not a huge fan of my own OCs. I personally prefer drawing fan art, but I just adore other people's OCs. I love hearing how different people think and how different people design and what colors they prefer, what characteristics they prefer, what romance situations they prefer. I just love it, but I don't know if it's the same for other people, so let me know in the comments which ones you prefer, because I'd really like to know. So this drawing is done. It's not my favorite drawing in the world, but it gets the point across, I guess. It does its job. It's a drawing. So now we're getting onto this left drawing. The initial sketch actually looks decent. It's smaller than the other one, but I've always been bad at doing things the exact same way like twice, so it's not terrible. So yeah, I thought the sketch looked pretty good and I got it done faster because I had already gone through the right one. The line art was kind of hard because I'm not a fan of the Copic multiliners or just multiliners in general, like microns. I prefer to just leave it pencil-y and then paint it or do the alcohol marker and then line it afterwards with a tombow because I like my line art kind of thick because it kind of hides the wobbliness. But I don't think it was too terrible, I guess. Honestly, erasing the pencil was probably the hardest part. My left hand just did not want to move that way. Painting was very hard. As you can probably tell, I go outside the lines a lot. I already do that with my right hand. But my left hand, yeah, that was going all over the place. Remember how I said I liked the shadow on the other one? Yeah, well, this one didn't turn out as good as the last one, unfortunately. It got in the hair, it just got all over the place. Maybe he's in very weird lighting? I don't know. I just made a big mess of the shirt down here. My left hand just wasn't having it. It looks just like I spilled mascara all over this or something. Not cleaning my brush before going into the yellow after using the black really didn't do me any favors, but the hair was gonna get muddy anyway because of the dumb shadow I did. But I think I did a good job of the shading here with the orange and the red. It kind of covers up the muddiness, so good job me. I don't really have much left to say, but this did turn out a lot better than I was expecting. I was able to replicate the original image pretty well, even though it's a huge mess. It's not the worst thing I've made, so I'd say this is a success. I would never do this again, but I think it's a success. So, I'm just adding in the terrible grey shading, and my hand got really shaky while colouring in the black part of the background, because my left hand isn't used to this much physical exercise, I guess. So it was under a lot of pressure. after like drawing for half an hour, and it was just shaking all over the place. Also, I don't think I mentioned this, but I forgot to record me drawing in the freckles and lining it with the tombow at the very end, just to like emphasize the line art. But yeah, I forgot to do it with the right hand, but luckily I remembered to do it with the left hand so you could see how much I fuck up this piece with just the line art at the end. At this point my left hand was just so tired, so the line art was wobblier than the Copic one, the initial Copic line art. But again, it's not the worst thing I could have done. Could have been worse. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of this challenge. I'm just finishing up the line art. This is an absolute masterpiece. You can buy this for £1. You know, gift it to a family member, hang it in your living room. It's so deep. So here's the comparison. Obviously there's, I don't know, they both kind of suck. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.